Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is the 2022 Lordstown Endurance. Now, you may have not heard of Lordstown before, but they originally purchased the Lordstown, Ohio plant. They then sold it to Foxconn, who is building the vehicles for them. Now, this vehicle is a work truck, so you will see them on the road, but this is a vehicle you could buy yourself. Now, the idea is for them to sell it to the fleets, and eventually they'll have 6 other different models coming out so that you can also own a Lordstown. Now, this vehicle does qualify for the tax credit because the batteries are from the US and the car is built here in the US. And that's an important factor, especially when you're looking at purchasing a work truck. This all-electric work truck comes one way. It has the short bed, it comes with a crew cab, and it has this really awesome design feature that comes only one way because this vehicle only comes in white, because if you're buying it as a commercial vehicle, you're going to put your company logo on it, you're going to wrap the vehicle, and so they thought about who's using it and what it's for. Now, why this vehicle is different than that of other luxury vehicles is it's not full of gadgets and gizmos and tons of options and features. Instead, this vehicle is very purpose-built. It is designed for the work truck. So you have your front trunk area, in addition to the fact that it comes with one wheel package. So they really thought about how do we make this efficient and useful to the person who's going to be using this. And they've really thought about that on the inside, and we're going to take it for a drive. So tell me about Lordstown Motor. I mean, people know Ford, GM, Chrysler. We know there's a lot of other brands out there that are independent brands. So can you tell me about where this comes from, this company, and all about it?
Okay, Lordstown Motors was basically started as a startup electric car company. We started with some concept skateboard type vehicles with an electric platform with hub motors on all 4 corners. Mm-hmm. And then you basically put a top hat on top of that skateboard. So that was just
designed for trucks or designed originally for cars? So it's always been with trucks in mind?
It's always been trucks in mind.
Okay.
Yes. And during the design and development, we also ended up purchasing the plant in Lordstown,
Ohio.
Itself, in Lordstown, Ohio.
Right.
Yes.
Which was a GM plant.
Yes, it was. It was an old Chevy Cruze plant. Mm-hmm. That used to produce, I think it was over 300,000 Chevy Cruzes.
Right, and so you took it over with the full intention of we're going to build the Endurance and other vehicles.
Yes. Yep.
And how many vehicles are you building at this time?
At the moment, we're building, slowly building, probably about 20 or 30 or so at the moment, because we're doing slow builds, but we're going to steadily ramping up production.
So you have deliveries start in the 4th quarter.
Yes.
Of 2022, because
yes.
This is a later date.
Yep. That
you're watching. And this is an interesting truck, because typically everyone's about putting in as much technology, as much goodies and gadgets and features and options, but you've done it a little bit different. Can you tell us your mindset on this?
The main mindset is the customer for this pickup truck is mainly targeted at the fleet customers, fleet owners.
So this would be work trucks.
So it's more of a work truck, yes. Mm-hmm. So for them, a lot of the gadgets that you want in a normal, regular retail vehicle aren't really needed for that type of market. For them, it's a work truck that they want to be able to get to the job site, carry tools, and just basically use it for work. And it needs to be easy to clean and easy to maintain.
So there are a lot of GM components, or is this all GM components?
No, there's very few GM components.
Really? So there is a partnership, though, right?
Not anymore with General Motors, no.
So originally that was the mindset.
Originally that was a mindset, yep. But now it's no longer a partnership with General Motors.
So you're your own independent company?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. And so it's an American-owned company?
Yes.
Okay, so these are American-built trucks?
Yes.
Are the batteries built here in the U.S. as well?
The batteries are built in the same assembly line, or the production line in Lordstown.
So you will qualify for the in 2023 for the tax credit?
Yes, we should.
Okay, because not a lot of vehicles are.
No.
That's going to be an interesting situation when you're realize all these vehicles that aren't, and now new ones are, so you're going to be one of the very few that will qualify.
Yes.
So if you were looking at an endurance truck,
Yep.
tell me about this vehicle so that people, they see one on the road, they know what it is and what it's about.
This is basically a double cab, so it's spacious for up to 5 people, and it has a 5.5 foot pickup bed.
And that's the only way it comes?
And it has a frunk as well. So that is the only way it comes at the moment, yes.
So you get one length bed,
Yes.
crew cab essentially, they used to call it.
It's a crew cab, yes.
Right, okay.
Yep.
And as far as features and options, now I know your goal is not to do like what Rivian did, was put as much stuff on it as possible.
There's very few features and options that you can get on
That's
this.
probably smart for a work truck because
For a
you
work
don't
truck,
need all that.
Yes. And at the moment, it just comes in white as well.
I do like the white. Actually, I think the white looks great with the black features. I think it really makes this vehicle stand out, and it is a good-looking vehicle.
Yeah. But I think with most workshops, they like to use the white and put their own stickers on and wraps around the vehicle. So
Right.
I think it helps having white for them. They have the company logos all over the
Right.
all of the
Would make
vehicle.
sense. That's why white would make sense for fleets.
Yep.
So the thought on this obviously looks like it's designed as a vehicle that has what you need, not necessarily what you want. So
Yes.
you've got a nice dash. It's easy to read. It's digital. I mean, nothing that would be unusual, I think, for the consumer. You didn't go crazy
No.
trying to be the newest, coolest thing, because it does the job. It says
Yep.
what it does. It tells you your range, how much is left in your battery, your miles per hour, the most important things.
Yes.
Right? So it'd
Yep.
be the same as like a gas tank or
Yes. It
and
is.
gauges. And then it also has cameras and so forth around that. Can you tell us about some of the features that are here on the center screen?
The main features is it has a rear view camera, sorry.
Okay. Plus you have the actual rear view mirror.
Yep, rear view mirror. And then just tells you the tires.
That's a tire pressure monitoring system,
Yep, the HVAC system.
right?
And then you have one thing you can do is set a warning speed. So if you get over that speed, it'll just warn you.
Right.
But on top of that, we have a telematic system where the fleet manager can keep control of the vehicles, so he can have
Really?
the option of limiting the speed on all the fleet vehicles that they own. They can limit how much acceleration they have. They can keep a GPS track of where all the vehicles are. They will also know the state of charge of all their vehicles in the fleet.
So an employee can't run it to empty, leaving
No.
the vehicle on while they're at a work site.
Yeah. Yep. So keep the miles. Basically, anything that the fleet manager wants to keep data on will get fed back to him, and it'll be on the fleet app.
So
They
this is
can-
really, so the fleet app is yours as well, or are you partnering
Yes,
in with
that's-
someone?
That's our own feature as well.
So you've got a fleet app, so that's a good idea. And then of course you get the regenerative brakes. You can do light, which I prefer, the normal,
Yes.
which is pretty aggressive.
It
I would
is.
say on a car, it would be like putting it to its maximum regeneration for the brakes.
It is pretty high, yes. Yeah.
Right,
But the main purpose of that is a lot of people like to use the high regen for 1 foot brake, 1 foot driving.
One
really.
pedal driving.
One pedal driving.
Does this
yeah.
have one pedal drive?
Yes. So this is just the regular mode is 1 pedal driving.
So
really.
normal mode is one pedal drive. Light is more like driving a vehicle. Yeah, this,
Yes.
I don't know.
And you actually need to use your brakes more with the light regen.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Learning something new. Okay, now
Yep.
you have traction control as well. So everything you need is on the screen.
Yes. Yep. Pretty much.
Follow home delay. Oh, this is great. So there's no navigation.
No navigation. No.
Okay.
No.
And as far as audio system, what do you have for those that want to listen to the tunes while they drive?
Currently, we're going to be launching a internet radio.
Okay. So just satellite radio?
It's similar to satellite radio, yes.
So will it be Apple CarPlay and Android Auto?
We do not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. That will be coming in a few months afterwards.
Because a lot of people like to use that for navigation
Yes.
and
Yep.
for apps and so
Yep.
forth. But it actually is pretty simple. So if you're used to driving a truck, your climate control is right here in the center as well as in the center screen.
Yes, both.
And your multimedia functions are also buttons, which I think is nice because everyone's kind of gone at the fingertip.
Yep.
And if something goes wrong over the years of how fleet
Well-
vehicles are abused,
Well, it's also with the fleet, a lot of people use gloves as well, so we made sure
Right.
they have an option of being able to set their controls with their gloves on.
so the driving experience is nice on this vehicle because you're getting what an electric vehicle is, but you also have a really nice quiet ride. It's absorbing a lot of the suspension. So is this designed for light off-roading, or can you be more aggressive than just a gravel road?
You can be fairly aggressive. We've tested it in fairly aggressive on and off-road type surfaces.
Here in Michigan?
In Michigan and out west.
So you've done the rock crawling with it.
We haven't done the we have not done the rock crawling.
I don't know how many people are really doing that anyhow, let's be honest with ourselves. But it has everything you need as someone who owns a work truck. Now you're saying this is 1.5 tons.
Yes.
So I have a 1-ton truck. So it's a dually. So how is this?
I don't think that's the...
You mean a half ton?
A half ton, sorry.
Okay, so this would be equivalent to like an F-150,
F-150, yes.
Or a Chevy Silverado, something along those lines. So it's a half ton
It's
truck.
a half ton truck.
What is, go back to this, what is the towing capacity on this vehicle?
The towing capacity is 8,000 pounds.
8,000 pounds. That's pretty good.
It's reasonable.
And
yes.
the battery life that's on this vehicle? If you buy are there different battery lives you can buy?
You mean ranges?
Ranges, yes.
Currently we only have one range, and that's a 109 kilowatt hour battery pack, and takes you about 200 miles.
Okay, and then as far as charging, is this an 800 volt architecture?
No, it's a 400.
It's 400. So how long will it take for this to charge at a fast charger?
On a fast charger, around about 40 to 50 minutes from 20 to 80%.
So 40 minutes from 20 to 80%.
40 to 50, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then if you use a level 2 charger, which a lot of people have in their homes, if you're
It's
work truck and so
probably
forth.
around about 5 to 6 hours.
5 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Now, just because people buy these trucks and they use them, and they also have their family involved, are there latch systems for child safety seats?
Yes, there is.
They're in back.
In the back, yes.
How many are there?
There's 3.
So you can put 3 child safety seats in the back.
You could if you, yes.
That's
wanted to.
more than the average truck. Most trucks have 2. And the reason they have 2 is because the center is usually like center console and so forth.
Yes.
How about the price point? Do you have the price?
I think it's somewhere in the region of 63,000.
So the price on this vehicle is around $63,000. Somewhere in that range. Obviously, you're going to buy certain options and so forth. And I assume you have lots of orders.
We have some orders, yes.
I'm sure you do, or you wouldn't be in business, right?
Yes.
So I did notice that there's manual seats, and I think that's smart because a lot of times you have power, everything. All it does is drain the battery.
It does, yes.
So was this designed more for battery efficiency, or just because it's a work truck and has a different use?
Mainly because it's a work truck. It's a different use. Most of the work trucks, they don't have all the powered. Some of the work trucks even just have manual windows.
So you can order this with manual windows?
We can't, no, not with this, but I'm just saying it's...
I was going to say. So power windows, power locks, that's always good. When you come around to the back of the Lordstown Endurance, I really like this LED taillight. It really is modern, clean, and simple, and they've thought about who's using this vehicle. You want to be able to see and be seen, but yet you want something that looks good as well. And they've really thought about doing that, making this a very functional vehicle. You've got your step to get up into the bed. You also have protective covering here because this is a work truck. People are going to be putting things into it and you don't want to damage the bed. And they've thought about all of that by also having tie downs. Now this vehicle comes only in 1 bed length. There will be additional variants coming in the near future, but right now this is what you're going to be seeing on the road. So start looking for the Lordstown Endurance. We have reviewed other vehicles that are electric as well as hybrid and gas. You can check that out on our channel. If you have any additional questions or comments, put them down below. I'll ask someone over at Lordstown and we'll get you an answer, especially if you're buying fleets. We want to answer your questions before you make those decisions and get those tax credits as well, because that's something a lot of companies are looking forward to. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you for buying me a cup of coffee, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.